Hello friends, welcome to my channel Aero Intel. Today I bring to you a topic of aviation that seems simple but is actually very important. The name of the topic is runway strip. Although runway strip is a topic that may already be ingrained in your mind, we will definitely revise it once today. So let's get started with this video. In the first clip, you saw a plane skid off the runway during landing and stabilize after experiencing some jolts. A plane skidding off the runway is unusual occurrence, and it could have many causes such as runway contamination, which covers waterlogging, icing, oil spillages, etc. Besides, maybe a tire burst or some other technical issue with the aircraft. In the second clip, you saw a plane overfly onto a grassy portion, which is a part of the runway strip, instead of landing on the runway. This situation could have been caused by poor visibility or a malfunction in the aircraft's communication and radar systems. Friends, both situations could have been dangerous if the runway strip had not been built to prescribed aviation standards. With this in mind, we will first explore the definition of a runway strip and later talk about the parameters considered while designing the same. So, definition of runway strip is: it is a defined area including the runway and stopways if provided, intended to reduce the risk of damage to aircraft running off a runway and to protect aircraft flying over it during takeoff or landing operation. Let us now check what are the dimensions of the runway strip. Coming to length of runway strip first. A strip shall extend before the threshold and beyond the end of the runway or stopway for a distance of at least 60 meter where the code number is 2, 3 or 4, 60 meter where the code number is 1 and the runway is an instrument 1, and 30 meter where the code number is 1 and the runway is non-instrument 1. Now talking about the width of the runway strip. A strip including a position approach runway shall wherever practicable extend laterally to distance of at least 140 meter where the code number is 3 or 4 and 70 meter where the code number is 1 or 2 on each side of the center line of a runway and it extended center line throughout the length of the strip. Friends, we will now discuss about the safety requirements for designing a runway strip. First point is objects on runway strips. An object situated on a runway strips which may endanger aeroplanes should be regarded as an obstacle and should as far as practicable be removed. No fixed object other than visual aids required for air navigation or those required for aircraft safety purposes satisfying the relevant frangibility requirements shall be permitted on any part of a runway strip. No mobile objects shall be permitted on this part of the runway strip during the use of the runway for landing or takeoff. Second point, grading of runway strips. That portion of a strip of an instrument runway within a distance of at least 75 meter where the code number is 3 or 4 and 40 meter where the code number is 1 or 2 from the center line of the runway and its extended center line should provide a graded area for aeroplanes which the runway is intended to serve in the event of an aeroplane running off the runway. Third point is strength of runway strips. That portion of a strip of an instrument runway within a distance of at least 75 meter where the code number is 3 or 4 and 40 meter where the code number is 1 or 2 from the center line of the runway and its extended center line should be so prepared or constructed as to minimize hazards arising from differences in load bearing capacity to aeroplanes which the runway is intended to serve in the event of an aeroplane running off the runway. Friends, in a nutshell, the runway strip is a defined safety area that includes the runway and stopway designed to minimize aircraft damage if it veers off the runway and to protect aircraft during takeoff and landing. Only frangible visual aids and authorized safety objects are allowed within the strip. No mobile or fixed obstacles should exist during runway operations. The graded portion ensures smooth terrain up to 40 meter or 75 meter from the center line, providing safe ground support if an aircraft overruns. This area must also be strong enough to reduce hazards from uneven load-bearing surfaces. In short, the runway strip is the first line of defense for aircraft safety, a carefully graded, obstacle-free zone that safeguards every takeoff and landing.